All is not well. All is not well. I have appeared today with a black dress just to symbolize how I feel. Gloomy, unhappy, and I feel like I need to mourn. If I was given a penny for the number of times that people meet me while they're complaining about how life in the UK is so gloomy, and they turn to me, sometimes for very cheeky reasons, sometimes genuinely wondering, why am I in the UK? And when they ask that question, I just go heads on and I say something like, oh, well, I don't want to be here, but I have no choice. Or I'll say, oh, I'm going back. It's a lie. It's a lie for different reasons. Not because I don't want to go back, far from it, but because where do I call home? How safe is my home? I'm going to share today something that I've never shared on this channel, and I'll tell you guys why I'm sharing today and why I don't think that is any point for me to keep it in the closet anymore. There is this popular phrase that in the face of oppression, silence is taking the side of the oppressor. It's tantamount to injustice. And a lot of you have always asked me, where are you originally from? And most people just go with the narrative of me being Nigerian. It's interesting, and I'll tell you guys today why I've never refuted that or why I've never agreed. Because my life is complex in a very beautiful way. And I chose, when I started this channel, not to attribute myself to any particular country, because I'm very Pan-Africanist, and I think that we all are unified. We're one. We might be separated by borders, physical borders, and maybe have different cultures, but our core, the same challenges, the same lifestyle, the same issues, the same immigration problems are very uniform across most of my viewers from the African continent. So I did not want to be addressed as I'm a girl from this place or from that place, so I just took a neutral stand to avoid any sort of tribalism or bias from my country. Not because I don't love my country or I'm not proud of my country. The second bit is a bit arguable, but we'll get there. I did that, but today I think it's about time that I share to my viewers why I've been a bit quiet and what I've been going through. Not just me, but I think the whole country, the whole nation. To give you guys some background, I'm privileged enough to have had 3 nationalities. I'm very affiliated to Nigeria, not because of only my viewers, but because I was born there. And my country of origin is Cameroon. I spent 10 years in Cameroon, from being 11 till 21. It's a country I love. It's a country that I have gone back and forth over the past 20 years. Like I had said already, there are times when the UK challenged me, and I moved back 2 times within the past 20 years. My husband as well moved back, and business was never really doing well because as a country, we have suffered for so long. And I thought that I'm going to say how I feel. It's different from my normal videos, but I'm gonna have to share this. If it interests anybody to know, please take a chair and let me tell you what we've been going through very briefly as a nation. We have had the same president before I was born. He became the second president of Cameroon in 1982, a year before I was born. So that makes him about 43 years in power, actually. Within this period, most people can only think about the good times, maybe 20 years ago. Over the past, as long as people can remember, we have been deteriorating like a country. Very little progress, job opportunities for young people. That's just a tip of the iceberg. But I think what is most important and why I have decided to share this today and why I'm so low is because the least that anybody should be entitled to in 2025 is freedom of speech and freedom of expression and democracy. That's the least. The years ago that there were military nations, people had no say, but you would expect that further down the line there should be some sort of say and freedom. of who we want to rule us. But it's a shame that a lot of our leaders don't believe in that. And my country's president, Paul Biya, is actually the longest serving president in the world. And I sit down and ask myself, what crime did we commit to be Africans? What crime did we commit, maybe our countries, to be blessed with natural resources? Because this is not just a problem in Cameroon, although ours looks really bad. But I look around neighboring countries rich in resources, and they're going through similar. Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, recently Tanzania, there's Nigeria. Most of these African countries have always been marginalized by the Western world as one of the key problems. And of course, the leaders don't love the people they rule. There's no love for country. There's no love for the people. So they treat us like doormats. And most times, especially in Cameroon, it's a very peaceful country, so people carry on like normal. But this year, on the 12th of October, there was hope, because we wanted change. Imagine the number of old people who have never and might never know another president to bring any sort of change or hope. And we had a fair election, so we thought. With social media, information was traveling really fast, and most Cameroonians will allege that we had a new ruler who was elected, and that's Mr. Issa Chiruma. The numbers, again, without allegedly, was over 60% in favor of him. But as they will always do, we believe the election was rigged, and the president, Paul Biya, was sworn in less than a week ago. And I had a few videos to do, and I just felt, why are we still here? A lot of us live abroad, not because we were physically exiled, but because we don't even know where to start from in a country that's constantly crumbling. Before now, we've struggled with fights in the Northwest because of secessional groups, due to all of the issues that we've been facing as a group of people, the English-speaking people. Most of us would have lost loved ones or displaced our family members to neighboring countries like Nigeria, Gabon, Cote d'Ivoire, wherever, just to have peace. People have walked across the deserts to get to the likes of to the US, to Europe, and not made it alive because of the country. I lost 2 cousins on the same day, shot in the sleeps at night. And that happened 6 years ago. We all have faced it, devastating. I've lost in-laws. It's been a very, very, very difficult time as Cameroonians. And I cannot sit down here and act like everything is okay. The least I can do, like I said, is to sensitize people, is to speak about injustice without going into a lot of detail, because it's not a political channel. But I think that I'll be a hypocrite to come here and talk about issues that we're facing abroad, in Europe, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, wherever, when our homes are burning. And that's why I've decided today to break my silence and say enough is enough. People say, you guys are abroad, what can you do? We are willing to help as much as possible. We've hoped for peace. We've always hoped that peace was the best tool, but not all the time does peace work. And it's very funny that when people's votes in the polling stations don't favor others, they want to use violence to take power. The only way to take power is by your people wanting you there. There is currently a state of uncertainty for investors, people like us abroad, and this has been going on since the crisis about 2014, 2016 in the Northwest. It's just spreading across the country now. I look at Nigeria. I look at the political insecurities with all the stories of Christians being killed in the northern parts and the US being involved. I look at Burkina Faso, Captain Traoré, wanting to be assassinated, multiple attempts. But the difference, at least with that, is people are guarding him because he's loved by his people, because he loves his people. If you are struggling to convince people around you that you will bring change you've not brought in 43 years and 7 years. It must be a fallacy that I will never understand. I don't know what it is, if it's because we're blessed. I look at the UK, I look at the museums, how they have gold. They have all sorts of precious metals from Africa. I look at France and the reserves of gold in tons they have when they have no gold. But they want to keep controlling our leaders, especially in the French-speaking part of Africa. And I just feel like, why do they want us then out of their countries when they've caused the mess that we have and they're gaining from it? Surely the least you can do is let people stay here, those who want to, because we don't really want to be here if our countries were better. I don't want to talk out of context, but I am very pained. I have been pained for a while because we all have lost people, lost money, and we feel like we have no home. We have a country where we have 2 leaders at the moment. Where do we belong? Where do we go to? How long can this carry on? Why do our leaders not love us? My next video, hopefully I'll carry on with the normal content that I do, but I thought it was right to lend my voice on this course because silence, I feel, in the face of adversity is injustice and is taking the side of the oppressor. As things develop, I'll be able to share in due course in between my normal content, which is just life in the UK and advice. Thank you very much for watching. And if this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, my name is Lulu. If you liked this, please share, educate yourself, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Bye.